What's up everybody, Q423 here from EpicConsole.com, and today I am bringing you a quick install tutorial on the Xecuter Sonus. As you've seen in the unboxing, everything is just the Sonus, the wires, and a sticky pad. We're going to get to the Sonus and the sticky pad a little bit later in the video. For right now, I'm going to start with the wiring. Now, what the Sonus is it gives this is the Phat edition. I'm working on a Jasper 16 megabit with the R-Jtag chip. It makes the Phat do what Slims do and then more. It gives it power on sound, eject sound, and I just figured out, I haven't been keeping up to date on the Sonus, but it also supports glitch sound. So as the light flashes, it makes a noise and letting you know when it's trying to glitch. For this tutorial, I'm using the QSB, so it'll be a QSB video, which is gonna make just 2 solder points a little bit easier is all. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna start off with the white wire. As you can see, we got yellow, orange, white, black, and red. I'm going to start off with the white one. And the white one's going to be coming, turn this here sideways, right over here underneath the disk drive, right behind the eject button. You don't have to take the motherboard out of the cage for this particular install, so I'm not. I'm just going to leave it in the cage. Let me widen it back out and I'll show you. We're coming in right in over here in this corner. And the point we're going to is actually right here. This R1G3, this capacitor right here. Maybe it'll be a little bit better if I turn it a little bit more sideways, just so that you guys can see thoroughly here. I'm going to take and apply a little bit of flex paste to the solder point. Got a little stringy there, so I'll put a little excess on it. Apparently that is all the better it's going to get. I was thinking I might be able to zoom in a little bit more. Guess not. Alright, I got my iron all preheated here to 340 degrees Celsius. My lead-free solder. Now, this would probably be a lot easier with the board out of the cage, but like I said, you're not required to take the board out of the cage for this, so I'm going to leave it in there for your viewing pleasures. You can laugh at me trying to work around stuff. You want to be very careful when doing this solder point so as to not accidentally float off that component. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to take and kind of kink the wire end over like so. Put just a little bit too much of a kink in there, and realistically this could stand to be trimmed down just a little bit. Alright, bring the wire in like so, and we're going to come in and just tack it right to this here resistor, capacitor, or what have you. And be sure to clean up afterwards. That's the white wire. Now let's move on to the next one. Next we're going to do our red and our black. That's our positive and our ground. And for that, this is where the QSB comes in. It's going to make things a little bit easier for me to solder here. just because I already have the QSB in place. So we're going to be running our red and our black wires directly over to the QSB. As you can see, right here we got a 3v3 power point, and over here we got a ground point. Obviously red goes here, black goes over here. So the first thing we're going to do, I've already pre-prepped this spot, but I'm going to apply a little flex paste to it and come in here to the ground points as well. That's entirely too much flex paste, but what's there is there. And now we'll just be very careful when coming in here not to burn your pad or your plug-in. We'll just apply a little solder to that pad there. Now we're going to come in with the red wire and attach that like so. I'll have to do another one of these without the QSB because you don't have to have the QSB. In fact, you don't even have to be running a hacked console in order to use this hack, or this. Trying to get my wire bent right. Again, this wire here is especially long. You could trim some of the tip off of it. So that concludes our red and black. Make sure again that you clean up afterwards. Now our next one is going to be the yellow wire and or orange wire, which goes to the ring of light. Correction, the yellow wire goes to the ring of light. The orange wire will go to the ROL pad on the Cool Runner Pro or R-Jtag kit. I'll widen out the rest of the way. Now, for the yellow wire, it's going to be a little extra long, much longer than it needs to be, but that's okay. And what we're going to do is just kind of see if I can get in here on it. Sorry about this. You can either A, route it through right here next to the sync button and fish it around to the front, to the ring of light. Like so. Or you could just tuck it right in this corner here next to the DVD drive and wrap it around. I'm going to go ahead and leave it fished through by the sync button. I'm going to pull all the slack through for the time being and go ahead right off the bat and trim off the excess wire. Now you want to remove this white piece here, like so. There we go. And then our yellow wire. See if I can get this thing to stay standing. Well, darn it. Dagnabbit. There we go. Our yellow wire is going to be coming in right to the power button of the ring of light module. Right smack dab in the middle. So, power button. Now what we're going for here is we're going to be bringing the ring of light or the yellow wire right to this pad right here. Alright, shut the ringer off on my phone. Okay, yellow wire. I already got some flex paste on there. We're going to go ahead and apply a little solder to it. A little bit of fresh solder to the pad. Bring our yellow wire around like so. And solder it on. There we have the yellow wire attached. Again, make sure you clean up afterwards with some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Okay, last we got our orange wire and the actual installation of the chip itself. So, for the orange wire, if you're on a regular console, not a glitch console, you won't need the orange wire, so you just cut the end off of it, set it or tape it off or something. I wouldn't cut the entire wire off, but you can cut the end off of it. But for the R-Jtag consoles, such as this one, we got the R-Jtag here. Our orange wire, see if I can get it in view here, is going to come to our ring-a-light pad, which is right here. That would be our ring-a-light pad. Oh, sorry about that. Still there. Let the camera focus. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of flex paste on that pad. I've already got it pre-prepped. Grab my orange wire here. Trim the tip. And we'll just solder it on. That's a bit of a dry, horrible solder point. Solder job. Put a little bit more solder on there. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay, again, remember to clean up. I'm going to do the cleaning up here in a second, off film. Now that we got all those wires attached, we get to deal with the plug part, which we're going to go ahead and see if we can't bring that right underneath this here heat sink. I had to figure out some wire routing. Alright, let's go ahead and stick our adhesive pad, which Xecuter provided. Stick that right here. I got mine a little off-centered. So that's ready to go. Now, these wires we'll plug in right here. If they want to cooperate. Oh. You want the pins facing up. Let me zoom in a little bit. As you can see, pins facing up, because on the other side there is no pins. Just snap it on in there. And we'll just go ahead and stick this right behind the ring of light module. Make sure you got it tucked in there real good. And that's right where she's gonna stay. Just like so. Okay, so now that we have that installed, I'm going to show you the rest of the process. Now, to program your Sonus, you're going to need a JR programmer. Give me a second here, I got to find it. This is the JR programmer and your JR programmer wires. We're going to go ahead and plug them in just like you would if you were reading a NAND or what today is. That's right, this thing is so tight. Alright. Now right on the Sonus here, you can see that just like in a NAND pinout, you got green, white, and blue. Well, on the JR programmer, it also has green, white, and blue. So we'll just plug it all in. Then we can go to the computer for the programming part of it. So this is the end of the install part. Next is programming. That'll be a separate video. So this has been Kill423 from EpicCouncil.com. I hope you enjoy the Xecuter Sonus, and be sure to clean up after yourself.